Oh, Magic 8 Ball. Great and all-knowing orb of the billiard table. Did I happen to purchase another goofy item that is currently sitting to my left in a big box that I get to unbox here in just a few moments? Signs point to yes. Greetings, Internet viewers. It's your old pal Oxleymations here again with another Oxleymations presentation. It's been a little rough getting over the whole Oktoberfest season, considering how much stuff I did, how much stuff I recorded, and also the fact that, well, as of the recording of this video, hopefully I've uploaded everything that I had. But regardless, it's been a little rough coming back down off of that. Like, at the start of this video, I wanted to go, "Greetings, boils, ghouls, and all of the macabre manner of being," because it's just such a good freaking intro. But anyway, we're not here for that. No. We're not here for my post-season meanderings. We're here because, as listed in the title right here below my shelves of puppets, is the title of this video, which I'm assuming it's going to say that it's another unboxing. So what we're going to unbox today is contained within this box. Isn't that magical? Also, this thing combines two fears for a lot of people. So, also, this box right here brings me one step closer to achieving a goal that I've had since I was still in high school. Now, mind you, that would have been around, we'll say, somewhere between 2007 and 2009. Maybe even a little earlier than that. I'm not 100% certain. But regardless, this was a long time ago that I put the idea in motion. Way back when I got my first Charlie McCarthy ventriloquist doll, the one that I believe to be that goober right there next to Bozo. He came in a vinyl tote bag, a vinyl carrying case, vinyl carrying tote, bleh, like I was just starting to grab off of the top shelf right back here. And on that vinyl tote was this picture. And as you can see in that picture, there are a nice selection of different ventriloquial figures. And I made it my mission all those years ago that I was going to get my hands on one of every single puppet in that group photo. And as of right now, before I fully open this box, I am 2 puppets shy of accomplishing that goal. But once I finish opening this box and retrieve the item from within, I will only be 1 puppet shy of completing that goal. So I now have the top of the box completely open, Adida. And it seems that I'm running into the same issue I had with the last box, which was that usually when I open these boxes, when it contains a figure, you know, like one of my ventriloquist puppets or like a new doll or something for my random collections, they will be, you know, right side up. But if I'm seeing correctly through the bubble wrap that is currently very well packed around this figure, he is currently head side down. So can't really see it because of the fact of all the bubble wrap, but if you see that patch of green, which you probably might not be able to see right there, that's the figure's pants. So, yeah, let's go ahead and gently as we can, pull this little guy out. And hopefully he didn't bring any friends with him, any uninvited guests with more than, 2 legs. With more than 4 legs, for that matter. Random zebra-striped shopping bag, just tucked away down in the bottom. I'm curious where this is from. From Urban Legend. Okay. Apparently it's a shopping center wherever the person I bought this from lives. And I have a feeling this poor son of a gun, this poor sap, comes from the house of a smoker of some kind, because there is an aroma coming off of this thing. Just freaked myself out a little bit because this cardboard just, these strips of cardboard just went like flip, flip, flip down towards my hand, and I was like, spider! Thankfully, that was not the case. Because I would have probably peed a little bit and screamed like a little girl. Because, as I've mentioned, I'm working to get over my phobia of spiders. Like, now I'm at the point where I can actually stand to catch and release them. Pardon, folks, I'm going to turn down the sensitivity of the microphone, so I might get just a bit quiet. It's a better alternative to me starting to rip the tape off of this, and suddenly all you can hear is like... with just like bits and pieces of me in the background, like... blah, 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 blah. My apologies to anyone wearing headphones right now who just heard that and just had to deal with that being right inside their ears. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do a quick cutaway. When I come back, I will have removed all the tape, and I will save you all the ear strain of having to listen to that. So, one moment. And I'll just popping back in for a second to show that our new little friend here did in fact come with a little friend. Not of the 8-legged variety, but there is in fact right under the words "the farmer's dog," the oval looking thing, that is in fact a dead fly. At least I hope it's dead. Now then, back to the actual unpacking, because I've gotten a lot of tape off of there, and I undid the very bottom end of the packaging, but there's still a lot of tape left to go. So, again, BRB. Alright, folks, now it is time for the grand reveal. The puppet is still technically sealed up in the bag. And thankfully, so is its little friend. And now I'm going to do my best to give you all the very first view of this puppet. So I'm just going to gently try and peel the padding away from it. Oop. Apparently he's trying to unbox himself a little bit. That's it, little fella. Wiggle your way out. Not you. I'm not talking to you, the dead fly in there. I'm talking about... Oh, apparently it would appear that his head is on backwards. I was about to give myself the first view. Thankfully, I caught that in the computer screen. So, here we go. Whoop, there's one of his legs, just drooped out. And in case you hadn't guessed who it was before, ta-da! The newest member of the collection. Now, this is another one of those weird puppets that people want more money than I'm willing to spend, usually, for. Doing my best still not to look at his face, aside from what I'm seeing in the computer there. But for whatever reason, like I was alluding to initially, some people just think that he's worth more than he actually is. Either that or I'm cheap, which that could actually just be the case, because I don't like spending too much on anything in my collection, really. The standouts being that Jerry Mahoney back there. Let me point with my new friend here. That Jerry Mahoney in the yellow jacket there, or my Slappy puppet. And now, to double check and see if it is actually the figure here, or if it was just the bags that had that odd aroma. That was a mistake. It's definitely him. Oh boy. I'm sorry, my little cloth and plastic friend, but you stink. Oh God. But anyway, try and recompose myself a little bit. This little fella right here is the Juro Novelty Company version of Emmet Kelly Jr. Not to be confused with his counterpart from the Horseman Doll Company, sitting right up there on the shelf by my Goosebumps videotape up there. But anyway, he was made by the Juro Novelty Company during the 1970s, and I want to say they made him up until the early 1980s. One of the main ways you can tell the difference between the Juro Novelty Company, Emmet Kelly Jr., and his Horseman Doll's counterpart is the fact that the Horseman one, the hat on that one was a piece of felt that was like formed to fit the top of his head, and it was removable. This guy, his hat is part of the head. It's one solid continuous piece. Alright, so now I'm going to turn him to face myself so I can get my first look at him in person. And wow. It's just about what I was expecting. He has a lot more of a presence in person than you would expect. And I'm not just talking about the aroma. Sorry, Emmet. No worries. It's fine. Now, Emmet Kelly Jr., I'll go more in depth on this when I do the actual video on him and his little brother over there. The character himself was a hobo clown, and he was obviously one of the sad clowns, as evidenced by the fact that, you know, he's frowning, as is the other little one over... right over there. Y'all know where he is. I pointed at him twice now. So yeah, that's going to be a fun little project, because as y'all can obviously tell, the rubber band in his mouth has completely rotted away to the point where his mouth just flops up and down, you know, like that. He is dirty as hell. And for those wondering, the aroma is not cigarette smoke like I thought it was initially. He is a musty old clown. And the reason, I think I said this at the start of the video, but for a lot of people, this is probably terrifying. Because for one thing, it's a ventriloquist puppet, and there are people with automatonophobia who would probably look into this room. They would step through that door, turn on the light, turn around, turn the light back off, and just run out the front door. And there's also people who have a fear of clowns. Coulrophobia, I think. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But my editing self will put that name right here. And obviously, this is those two things combined into one neat, musty little package. I'm quite happy to finally have him in the collection. Now the only puppet from the Goldberger lineup that I don't have, from the group shot, there's one other additional puppet that I don't have. Aside from getting a regular, basic ventriloquist doll version of my Slappy puppet. But I'm also missing W.C. Fields. That's another puppet that I'm on the hunt for, and he's another harder to find one, which is why I don't have him yet. And then I'm also looking for a Carol Channing ventriloquist doll. She was kind of a limited edition, short run kind of ventriloquist doll that they offered. And she goes for a pretty penny. Just like Emmet. I think the reason why I'm struggling so much is because I inhaled some fabric fibers off of this guy because my throat tickles. So I think I'm going to wrap this up real quick. But yeah, I'm glad to have him in the collection. Now all I need to recreate the group photo is a W.C. Fields. And I'm looking for the original one with the pinstriped outfit, not the one wearing like the Mortimer Snurge, Danny O'Day style checkered suit. And that guy came out right around 1979, 1980, and I believe there actually is a copyright date on the back of his neck that says 1980 on it. And because of him coming out at that point, that's why he's one of the less common, more rare figures, like Emmet here. So, yeah. And aside from missing his shoes, which on these old ventriloquist dolls, they're almost always missing, they were essentially just a piece of felt over the top of the foot with like a little thick piece of cardboard on the bottom to kind of represent the shoe and the sole. Like, before I actually wrap it up, I'll show you what I'm talking about, because my headstick Danny O'Day happens to have his original shoes, but the shoes that the Juro Novelty Company would put on these figures and the old ventriloquist doll companies would put was literally just a flat piece of cardboard with some felt over top to represent the shoe, and the foot would just kind of slide in like that. And obviously, given how limp and floppy the feet are on these things, those shoes would just fall off and get lost. And yeah, thankfully with that Danny O'Day, his shoes have like this kind of strap on them, so you can make sure they're not going to fall off and get lost. So again, here's my new little pal, Emmet Kelly Jr. I just realized the majority of this time the camera is right there and I've been looking over there, so I'm talking to you, the viewer, while looking over there. But anyway, I want to thank you all so very much for tuning into today's video. I do truly and greatly appreciate it. If you like what you've seen here today, you all know the drill. Feel free to like, comment, and share this content with your friends if you think that they'd like them. But with all of that out of the way, this is Oxleymations and Emmet Kelly Jr. saying, viewers beware, and subscribe if you dare. Ooh, you need a cleaning. Later, everyone.